Why do bad things happen to good people? This is one of the toughest questions that as a pastor I receive pretty often. Other questions I hear are, how could God let this happen? Is God testing me? Why won't God help me? Some people will say, God won't give you more than you can handle. But I don't think that's true. Some people will say, it's all part of God's plan. I don't think that's true. Several years ago, my sister took her life. She struggled for years with anxiety and depression. I do not believe that was God's plan for her life. I do not believe God caused her to take the action she did. I believe she suffered greatly with mental illness. I believe she was tired of the suffering. I believe she lost hope. We live in a world where suffering happens. It's a part of the human condition. When you have had a tragedy, a life loss, or going through a divorce, or suffering through illness, I want you to know that you are not alone. In the Bible, Psalm 23 says, even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil, for you are with me. My comfort comes from a God who promises not to remove the suffering, but to walk with me through the suffering. God's comfort and hope is not in removing our suffering, but in sharing in it with us. God came down to earth in human form and lived in the human condition. Jesus suffered. Jesus was betrayed, beaten, ridiculed, and ultimately murdered. The good news is that the story doesn't end with suffering. Jesus is resurrected and brings us new life. I can't promise that you won't suffer, but I can promise that God does not leave you alone in your suffering. If you'd like to learn more about what that looks like and how you can enter into a relationship with God through Jesus, I'd like to invite you to click to get connected. You'll be put in touch with someone who would love to talk with you about any questions you may still have. Suffering doesn't have to be the end of your story, and you can receive comfort in God.